Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com, and this is just a very quick video to update you on the things I've not had a chance to tell you about this week. However, the clock is ticking because the first one start, two of them are on Monday, one starts on Tuesday. Now with the first one, you have got 6 weeks, and with the Tuesday option, I think it's running for 3 days. So let's start with Monday. On Monday, for those of you who have a business and build funnels, this is definitely going to be for you. For those of you who have a business and do not build funnels, this is even more for you because it's one of those skills which kind of feels like it's essential nowadays. So let me just very quickly, so this one is a free 6-week influencer challenge. It's a masterclass series that's going to run for the next 6 weeks. It starts on Monday. So let me tell you a little about what they've said. So I'm looking at the page now. Actually, let me show you, might be handy to show you where I'm looking. And what I will do is I will, I'll tell you where to go for the links to this in a second. But this is the first one. So let me hop on over there. So it says, welcome to the free, normally $497 influencer challenge, 6 weeks to masterclass success. So launch your masterclass funnel in 6 weeks with our proven template. So there's a place there where you can register free of charge using my link. You then have an introduction to the two people, Jessie DeBeck and Charisse Sutherland, who are running the event. There are some testimonial videos, and then it says, let's see, what is the influencer challenge? Get instant access to Jessie's 1 million funnel template. Now, I know when people throw those numbers about, you're like, yeah, whatever. When I first met Jessie, he said, one of the funnels I've done, you may have come across it. And I was thinking, not likely. And then he said, I do the funnels for Brendan Bouchard. Now, I had not long come back from one of Brendan Bouchard's events, and I had been through that very same funnel. So he's really not joking when he says that. So if you know Brendan Bouchard, you would have seen Jessie DeBeck's work in action. So Jessie's going to be, as they say, spilling the tea about how to do that and giving you a template. So it says, set up your very own masterclass funnel step by step with Jessie DeBeck himself over 6 weeks. Start printing money out of the computer with this proven system and build the online business of your dreams and have the time of your life doing it. I can now hear Dirty Dancing, time of my life. So all you have to do is put your name, your email address, register for the challenge, you're in. So that's the first one. I have personally myself, I have registered. I will be doing said challenge. So that's the first one. So the link, if you go to my main website, transformationstm.com, there's a red Watch New button. If you click on the Watch New button, the Influencer Soft Challenge, the Photoreading online Photoreading Binge Fest, and the link to the special webinar that I'm running on Wednesday evening. I've just uploaded them all to that panel, so you can head on over there. What I probably will do after this video, particularly if you're watching it on YouTube, what I'll do is I'll add the links under the description of the video as well, but that's where you can have a look if you wanted to go and have a look straight away. So that is the first one. That's kind of checking out what Jessie is doing. Highly recommend it because it really, really is good stuff. Right, the next one, actually, let me just, next one we're going to be kind of talking about. If you've known me for a while, or even if you're pretty new and haven't met me very much before, you will know I'm always talking about this wonderful program here, the photo reading. So the premise is how to read at 25,000 words per minute, get through whole books in 5 minutes, and learn strategies to remember and recall what you've actually read. So this is a photo reading book that all of you would have received if you've ever attended the in-person workshop. I do have the full 3-day workshop as an on-demand online video webinar. And what's happening from the 15th of this month, so just a couple of days away, 3 days away, if you're watching this in real time, Dr. Paul Sheely, the creator of Photoreading, he's on the back of the book, he will be running a photo reading binge fest. So you get to learn how to photo read online. It's completely free of charge for those of you who have registered. all you need to do, again, fill in your name, fill in your email, you will get the link. So this is kind of what you're looking for when you go to my website and pull out the panel. This is what you're looking for. The photo reading binge is coming. Get through your reading 3 times faster, if not more. Begins on the 15th of March. You can join for free. Just use the link on my website or the link that I'll put in the description of this video. Get yourself registered, because when I tell you this is life-changing, it is a game changer. I will not go into all of the details now, because there are plenty of videos both here on Facebook and on YouTube where I've talked about photo reading, where I've shared with you the results of my clients. My clients have been aged from 70 to 7 years old and everything in between. So it's really open to everyone. I often have students, of course, because they have an immediate requirement, but I often have business owners, entrepreneurs. Over the years, I've had doctors, I've had surgeons, I've had marketers, I've had accountants, I've had journalists, I've even had a team of rocket scientists from Cranfield University. So, and they absolutely loved it. If I've got their stack here, I'll find it before I go, but I don't think it's in this stack. But they absolutely loved it and were blown away. So please take the opportunity. Starts on Tuesday. I believe it's running for 3 days. And you have, for us in the UK, because the time zone is different, you have about I'm going to say it should be 24 hours, but because of the various different time zones in the United States, we tend to get 2 days. So you've got, but let's just say you've got 24 hours to listen to each of the days and watch each of the days' recordings, and then it disappears. But while it's up, make the most of it. So you're probably going to have the best part of next week to listen to all of the material. My suggestion is have a book to hand. Follow the instructions, do what it says, don't do what I did when I was first introduced to photo. Go, well, that will never work, and how does anyone read that fast, and what about this tangerine? I just second guessed the whole thing, and it sat on the shelf basically for 2 years untouched, gathering dust, until I had a different experience of somebody actually saying they read 20 to 30 books a month and they worked a really busy job, and that's when I sat up and took more notice. So that's free online with Dr. Paul Sheely. Actually, what I've got, oh, I know why I've got that picture of Paul there. So that's, let me, I was coaching on Paul's, he ran a photo reading workshop a few months ago. So I was coaching on the workshop. So that's Dr. Paul Sheely, and he was teaching the class live, and I was one of the photo reading coaches on that workshop a few months ago. So that's the man you will be working with. He's the co-creator of photo reading. So do make sure you take the opportunity to join him. Again, free of charge. You just need to register. And this is something a little bit special, and I'm not going to go into details here. Join us on Monday, 6 p.m. UK time. A very good friend who's one of the most straightforward, no-nonsense people I know told me about an opportunity. My first reaction was, like many people, whatever. However, because I know said friend, I've known her probably, when did we start working together? I think it was around 2008. Yeah, 2007 to 2008. We were definitely into the swing of it by 2009. And if you're watching this in real time, it's 2022. So I've known her a long time. Very straightforward, takes no prisoners, completely straight down the line. She's Scottish. And if you know someone who's Scottish, bang, straight between the eyes. Doesn't mess about, doesn't suffer fools gladly. So I thought, okay, if she's looked at this and is really excited and saying how brilliant it is, even though trust me when I tell you, as you will know, some of you may or may not know, with the stuff that I'm doing as a local counsellor now, I've got even less time to dedicate to the things that I would traditionally be doing. And so I'm like, you know, this is now impinging on time that I even haven't got. But I agreed to join her for a webinar and meet a couple of people. And pretty much before they even started, I think they'd been talking for about 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm in. Where do I sign? And they actually didn't. They still carried on. They didn't, you know, they said, well, wait, we want you to hear all the information. I'm like, I think I've heard enough, but, you know, maybe listen to what they wanted to say. But it's been absolutely fantastic. So had an idea this week that it will be really fabulous, particularly when you look at what's going on in the world. I think probably every single provider that provides me with a service has now written to me to tell me about the price increase. The most recent one was Virgin Media. I phoned up to report that my home phone wasn't working. And that conversation then transitions to telling me what my new bill will be and the increase that will kick in from April next month. So if you're in that position, I would definitely say you want to join us for this one. If you're a bit like me, like I have not got the time to be fiddling about with doing anything else, definitely join, because the thing I loved about it most, when they said you don't have to do anything, I'm like, sign me up. So if that appeals to you, again, I've put the link in my website. This is what you'll see when you click the link. It's a very quick form because we're very short of time. I did not have time this week to do all the updates as I would have normally done. So just fill your name in, your email address. What it will do, it will then email you the Zoom details. Put the date in your diary, Monday, 14th of February, 14th of March 2022, 6 p.m. UK GMT. It's going to be on Zoom. They're probably, we've said what we're probably going to do is 20-25 minutes, something like that, then have a little bit of a break. And if anybody then has questions after that, they'll do another 10-15 minutes of questions. But we want to be done within the hour so that you can have your Monday evening back. But then there's some other stuff we want to do after that as well. So sign up and join us, seriously. If you're free on Monday evening, if you're in the UK, that's time zone. If you're in America, that'll be 1 p.m. Eastern time. Definitely make sure you come and join us. So to find all of that information, go to my main website, transformationstm.com, click on the red What's New button at the top. Have I got anything? Sometimes I have a picture here of what it looks like. Let me tell you. Oh, actually, while I'm looking for that, I'll just shove that one up there. In terms of the photo reading, to give you a flavor of what you can potentially expect. And people often ask about details. I've just spotted that one in there as well. Last year, I spoke on one of these online summits, if you want to put it that way. So 3 or 4 speakers every single day. They did a whole week. Then they voted for the top speakers. And I was one of those top speakers. It was a lawyer summit. So I was teaching and talking about photo reading to lawyers across America, mainly America, but of course it was open to everyone, but they were predominantly American. And it was voted one of the top talks of the whole segment. So, and they are some of the most detail orientated people that I know. So that's a little bit about photo reading. Just going to see if I can very quickly, if I can find what you're looking for. Gosh, I've got a lot in here. Loads of stuff about photo reading. Oh, that's a funny one. Sorry, I digress. But this one, I remember I do a Huna bit in the photo reading, and this was somebody who experienced it and said it's better than Red Bull in terms of reaching the parts other things cannot reach. While we're on the subject, this is from the team of rocket scientists at Cranfield University, and what they had to say about the photo reading. Okay, well, this one will do. Let me put it there. So go to the website. Here it is. TRANCE. So www.transformationstm.com. So TRANCE, F for Freddy, FORMATIONS. TM is in trademark. So transformationstm.com. Look at the top of the website. There's a red button that says What's New. Click that button. There's a panel that slides out, and you'll find the link to the funnel channel, the challenge, the masterclass, 6-week masterclass series. You'll find a link to the photo reading binge fest, and you will find a link if you want to join us for this webinar on Monday. So that's it. Be there or be square, as they say. But seriously, and when I was just putting all of this together, uploading it onto the panel on the website, I was like, man, actually, if you do all of these 3 things, it's a game changer in terms of your business, in terms of your life, in terms of how you next level your expertise, and creating more ease in the way that you live your life. So the 3 of them together are a powerhouse solution, and they're all free. They're all free. And I know for the influencer challenge, because I'm part of a mentorship group with the same company, one of the things they're talking about is they've been running the challenge free, I think, for probably about a year now. And they've done it every 3 or 4 months, probably actually a bit longer than that. But one of the things that they're talking about, and Charisse was telling us on Thursday, that they're thinking of charging for the masterclass, because it's, number one, it's fantastic, and number 2, People tend to respond more readily when they've got skin in the game. So if you're someone who does occasionally like free stuff, my suggestion is get in there now. They haven't made a decision yet, but Charisse is pushing for it to be a paid challenge. So this potentially could be your last chance of attending that 6-week masterclass for free. But grab the Photoreading opportunity of Dr. Paul Shealy and definitely join us on Monday for something that's pretty mind-blowing. And yeah, best of all, don't need to do anything. Woo! Right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you know anyone who would, if you don't have a business yourself, but you know someone who's an entrepreneur, they don't yet have a funnel sorted out, make sure you pass this information on to them. If you're someone who needs to read faster, get through information more quickly, you want to improve your brain, your creativity, your intuition, your critical thinking, your decision-making skills, the ability to get into the flow state pretty much at will, please make sure you pass the information over to them. And if there's anyone who's wanting to create just a different way of being in this life and start to stave off some of these massive increases that we're seeing in terms of the prices of things that are happening around us, please, please, please share this video with them, share the links with them, and I'll see you on Monday because that one will be live. Catch you all later. Thank you so much for watching.